Hey guys, the name of today's session is forgiveness. Now, I know that's a huge thing and it's very popular now. Everyone's talking about peace and forgiveness. But before we go on, let me explain what I actually mean by forgiveness. I don't mean by forgiveness, I don't mean making peace with someone, going and says, I'm sorry, forgive me. I mean making peace with yourself, making peace with your history of harm and abuse or lack or neglect, whatever your father left you with. And this is what we're going to target today. You need to forgive your father and let him go. Because believe it or not, deep down, in the utmost being of your soul, you actually hold him responsible. There is a boy inside of you that is crying and said, where were you where I was alone? Or why did you beat me? Or why did you talk like that to me? Or why didn't you hug me never? Or why didn't you fill in the blank? You hold your father responsible, and let me tell you, you have every right to do so. See, I'm not here to tell you, you must forgive and let him go. No. I'm not going to abuse you. I'm not going to abuse that child. No. That child has every right, every reason to be resentful, every right to hold on to this and hold the father responsible, because he is responsible. Let me tell you, he is responsible. Your father is responsible for what happened to you. But there's only one way to be free, and this way is to let him go. See, this is what true forgiveness is. No matter what society tells you, no matter what religion tells you, true forgiveness, only then you can achieve freedom, after you release. A real forgiveness is not simply making yourself feel better or love him. Just love him. Look at something good about him. No. True forgiveness is acknowledging, yes, you're wrong. Yes, you hurt me. I'll let you go. I just let you go. I'm not gonna judge you anymore. True forgiveness is giving up the right to judge someone. Because you know what? This judging him inwardly every day as you go on through your life is actually hurting you. I mean, he might not even be there. He might be dead, for all I know, but it's you that suffer. It is you. It's not your father. He might not be around you anymore, or he might not want to know. That's fine. So it is you that suffer from being bitter and resentful. And trust me, you are deep down. Because you have every right to be. So how do we let him go? Well, the first thing is, I hope that by now you've connected to some of your pain. And the first thing is to actually acknowledge that. Imagine looking at him, looking at his eyes and just speaking to him. Speak to him, just say, you're wrong. Pour out your heart. If you feel like beating him, get a pillow and punch it. I've done that many times. I had to. Because you know what, let me tell you, with me and my father, things were different. I couldn't speak. I couldn't say what I wanted to say really in front of him because his whole personality was so scary. You wouldn't even dare speak in your mind. No. He was not safe for me to express my feelings. He was not safe. And so I suffered a lot in life because of that. I became an emotional pushover, if you like. So someone will come and offer me something, an idea, I won't agree with it, and yet I won't say anything. And then when they leave, I'll be like, oh, I should have said that, I should have done that. Yeah, because my father cut off my ability to speak my mind in front of others, to defend my position. Because of his forceful personality, I've lost the ability to do so. So, in order to regain that, I had to actually, look at a photo of my father's harshest expression that I could find. And I found a photo when he was in his 20s, living in Siberia, believe it or not, for 6 years. That's where he worked, among hardened criminals and low-class people and all sorts of, it was not an easy life for him. The way he looked at the camera was just murderous, That's how he's become. He had to survive. That's okay. I'm fine with this now. I see his darkness. I see his brokenness. And I love him for the heart that is behind that. Not for that darkness. No. I still hate that. And I had to look at him. And at first it was hard. Because all my life I could never do that. That's my biggest fear. That's why I feared other men as well. Especially men. Or stronger women. Anyone that was stronger. Something in me was just paralyzed. I won't be able to speak my mind. I'll be like, okay. And then when they leave, I'll be like, yeah, I should have said that. Yeah, I should have done that. You know what I'm saying? So I looked at that photo and I just let the anger go at him. And I started punching the pillow while just looking at that photo, imagining I was hitting his face. Oh, I know, so all that, you need to honor your father and all that. Well, how can you honor him unless you deal with the darkness first? Because when people tell you to honor your mother and father, they don't mean their dark side. At least they shouldn't. They mean honor them for their hearts. But you can never get to the heart unless you deal with the darkness first. You know what? Now I see my father for who he is. He's just a broken boy that had to grow up too fast and he had to survive. So the world was delivering these blows and he had to get hard on himself to endure that and to fight back. But I would have never seen that unless I dealt with this first, because I would have always, at a deeper level, held him responsible. I would have always been bitter with him for doing what he did to me, for shaping me the way he did, turning me into a weakling. So yeah, you need to deal with that. You need to face him. You need to speak. You need to say, for the first time in your life, just between you and yourself, between you and that pillow, it might be grief. It might not be anger. It might be grief. But there will be anger. I'm sure there will be anger. Especially with some of you that suffer from depression. Yeah, there's a lot of suppressed and depressed anger there. So don't give up. It's not going to be easy. Especially with someone like me. All my life I've been suppressing myself. It wasn't easy. My anger just doesn't just flow, you know. I'm not that kind of... I never became the kind of person that when you do something wrong, he'll just snap at you. No. But the anger is there. And when you tap into it, you'll be surprised. It might be murder there. That's okay. Express it. It's better to murder a PO than to murder your wife one day, you know. It's far better. This is serious. You need to take this seriously. Your father has hurt you far beyond what you can imagine. Your father deserves your anger. Not face to face. You don't need to. He doesn't even need to know. If he's still alive, if he's still, he doesn't even need to know, because he won't understand that. Chances are he won't understand it unless he's deeply aware of these things, and then maybe it's worth talking to him. But first, you need to do this deep work in darkness. You know, the greatest treasures are found in darkness. You need to spend the time in the darkness. You need to go through the valley if you want to climb the mountain. You have to go through that expression. Eventually, you might end up on the floor, spent, still, empty from emotions, but still realizing then I'm never gonna get what he never gave me. I'm always gonna be bitter with him. This is when, once you're empty of the emotion, of the bitter emotion, and you're tired and you just feel grief maybe for the way things are, that's a good place to be. Because this is when you can forgive. This is when you can just say, you know what? It was your fault. It was your responsibility. You failed me. And I will not judge you anymore. If I judge you, I'm not going to get my love back. I'm not going to get anything. I'll just keep poisoning myself. So imagine how all these years you've been holding on to him and suddenly you say, you know what? Go. That's enough. That's enough. I let you go. I release you. I release you. Someone once said that forgiveness is deciding to let the prisoner go, to let him off out of the cell, and then realizing that the prisoner was you. Because this is the truth. You're the prisoner of your unforgiveness. And unless you acknowledge it and face it and deal with it in this manner, you never change the way you want to change. Hopefully, because you're watching these videos, you want to change. So I dare you, go and face your deepest emotions. Don't you find yourself easily irritable by the wife or the children, your girlfriend, your friends? Don't you find some scary emotions deep down and you just wonder, I hope they don't notice? And you just wonder where they come from. Well, chances are they come from the father wound, because that's the biggest wound you've received in your childhood. The father wound, the lack of the father or the presence of the father that was, that was present in the wrong way. His involvement wasn't right. So all these things hurt you deeply. Express your emotions. Remember, forgiveness is not forgetting. You're never gonna forget that. I've never forgotten that, which is good. If I've forgotten that, how could I talk to you now? You've just been gone. No, we need that. The survivors need to testify when something huge happened, like the Holocaust, we need to value the survivors. Well, the survivors of the father wound need to testify. I'm here to testify. Forgiveness is possible. Forgiveness is needed if you are to change. Also, forgiveness is not reconciliation. It doesn't mean you need to reconcile to this person. It doesn't mean that from tomorrow, 'cause your father might be a horrible man. He might be in jail. He might be a murderer. You can write him a letter if you want to, but these things are up to you. It's between you and your conscience, really, because if a relationship has been harmful, you might not want anything to do with him. That's fine. As long as you have let him go in your heart. See, my biggest concern is not about what people would think about you if you don't see your father anymore. My biggest concern is your heart, because your heart suffers from this unforgiveness. And unless you choose to let it go, you keep suffering. You're suffering and suffering. And when you get, more advanced in age, symptoms will start popping up. You go to the doctors and you ask them, why? Why is this? Why is that happening? And they'll probably say, well, because of your cholesterol. Maybe tweak that and tweak this, but who knows? Who knows? You just don't want to go there. You just don't want to poison yourself anymore. You need to forgive. And forgiveness is a choice. Now, I've been telling you what forgiveness is not. Let me tell you what forgiveness is. Forgiveness, believe it or not, is a choice. It's like a cut. You decide, that's it. Now, that decision doesn't mean I'm not going to feel resentful anymore. You can't control your feelings. The healing of your feelings will follow. But the first step to forgiveness, the most important thing, the forgiveness itself, is a cut. You take that sword and you cut your father off you. Enough. This is forgiveness. Forgiveness is a choice. It's a cut. It's saying, enough. I let you go. I will not judge you anymore. I let you go. I let you go. That's it.